And now the moment we've all been waiting for. not 11 months, 8 months in the making. We get to hear from our incredible exchange student, Joao. He wanted a lot of time, so we gave him 2 hours, so hopefully you're all going to be late for work today. But please welcome Joao as he presents on his year. Okay, come on, stand up for this guy.
Thank you. Morning. So today is June is my 10th month here, almost 11th. So I first got here in August. I think most of you know that, and it's been a long time. It feels like it's been a really long time. And today I will just present some events that happened in the last quarter. I've done 2 presentations about school, about everything in the past 6 months. So this presentation is most just to wrap up, and it's more a thank you presentation. So prom. We had seniors and juniors at school. We had prom. I don't really remember the date specifically, but me and my friends, we went to St. Paul. We took a lot of photos to the point where I had to buy storage on my phone. And I went with like 20 people. We went to take photos, and then we went to have dinner. And in Brazil, we don't really have prom like that. So one of the main reasons why I came to US, it's because of the school life. So the sports, the games, and prom. Prom is a big thing here. So it was really amazing to be part of that. So my date was a Swiss girl, an exchange student from Switzerland. She's a senior here, and we went together. Our friend group's pretty much the same, so we went together. That's the people that I met these guys in the middle of the year. Before that, most of my friends were really only in the soccer team, and then I met them, and then I'd say my life just outside school just turned, because then I'd be invited to everything possible with them. So this guy there, so I've never seen him before February, I think, and we started to go lift together, and our personalities are so similar that it gets to the point where it's scary. Like, we think the same way, we act the same way, so we became really good friends. So part 2, graduation, that's another part that it makes a difference for exchange students. So at school, I'm not really a senior, I'm a junior, because when I got here, I was 16. I was the only exchange student that was 16. Most of them were either already 18 or 17, but they still allowed me to be part of the graduation. And graduation is a big thing here. It's a big thing in Brazil too, but we don't have the same culture of walking and everything. It's just a special moment here. And then before, we went to a friend's house, and then we took a lot of photos, and it was a special moment. It was tough because I just felt like was coming to an end. It's hard to to get a diploma and not think you're almost done with school, even here and in Brazil. So it was a tough moment. So these are the guys. That's the first people that I met outside of my soccer team. So I used to have lunch with them every single day, and they're just amazing people. They helped me a lot with my English skills. They helped me at school. If I had any trouble there, they would help me. So I'm really thankful for them. And these are probably my best friends here, Quentin and Brady. So I met them in the first week I was here, and they were around me always talking about Brazil, soccer, Neymar. And we got really close to each other. So it's funny because some students here, I think maybe adults don't realize, but the students are really interested in different cultures. So they were always around me to know better about Brazil and just to be my friends. And then, so one of my friends' dad, he took these photos of me playing soccer. It was like 3 hours before graduation, and we were bored, so we just started to play soccer. And then while I was playing, it's funny because all the photos he took, I was smiling, like looking at the ball and smiling, and then I saw these photos and I remembered. So 7 years ago, when I was like 9, 10, I used to think I would be the best soccer player in the world. I wanted to represent my country and be the best. And this, as you can see, that didn't happen, and I don't think that's gonna happen. But the way I feel when I play soccer is the same way. That's why I was so, when Anne told me the tryouts were gonna happen before I would arrive here, I tried to come earlier because soccer is it's just a way for me to like relieve everything. So these photos represent well how I feel when I play soccer. Then walking, so those two are one of my favorite teachers. So the one I'm talking to, he's a varsity soccer coach. He was the one saying the names of the students, and I was really relieved when I saw him because he's one of the only teachers that know how to say my name. So when I saw him, I was relieved. And in the back, it's Miss Ellison. She's the physics teacher, and she's a really good teacher. She was the one that pushed me really hard at school and made me go from regular physics to AP physics. And because of that, I started to think I could come here again for college. So she's one of the reasons why I changed my mind. So this is just some photos. So there with my friends playing soccer too. And here, these two guys here, Quentin and Isaac, we were in the same computer science class. And they helped me a lot with everything, so especially at school. They were really smart kids, so they helped me a lot. Okay, so this happened last week. So it's a tradition for exchange students to have something signed when they come back to their countries. So then they have the names of people and they can just have the memory forever. And I was gonna do that in a white shirt, but then I saw another exchange student doing that with the US flag. And I decided to do the same thing, so if you pass that. So I posted on my stories on Snapchat. I was gonna bring the U.S. flag and the next day. So if people wanted to sign it, they just could come over to me, and then I'd give them a pen and they would sign. And I brought the flag totally empty. There were no signatures. Then the same day when I stopped, there were more than 300 signatures on the flag with all the kinds of messages, from the sweetest ones to it's crazy. I can't even say what they wrote there. Okay, so part 4 impressions, I just wanted to explain some things I expected first, and then I just saw it was different when I got here and I lived here. So food. One of the stereotypes of Americans is that we think people eat a lot of fast food. And when I got here, I started to eat healthier than when I was in Brazil. So even though I gained weight here, I gained 10 pounds somehow, but still I ate really healthy here. Probably thanks to my host parents and my host families, because they ate really healthy, and then my host parents were always really good chefs at the kitchen, so it was pretty good. Weather. So weather here is just crazy. So when I first looked it up about the weather in Wisconsin and Minnesota, I saw that like it would be like 70s in the summer, and then in the winter it would be around 30s. And then when I got here, it was like 85, and I was feeling hotter here than in Brazil, so I was pretty confused. And then the winter came, and it was it's just crazy. I don't know how to explain. The first month was amazing because it was the first time I was seeing snow. So looking everything white and having to wear 16 layers of clothes was pretty fun. But then it got to the point where when you need to wake up at 6 in the morning and go to school in a bus, and it's like -20, that's not fun at all. But it's experience, so. School. So the high school we have here is massive. It's really big, and it has a structure that I've never seen before. I don't think there is a single school in Brazil, even the private ones, that has the same structure as the Hudson High School. And I was pretty scared when I saw it, because I thought it was a college campus when I passed the first time. And it was a place where I was going to study for the whole year. So Hudson has a really good district, and it was just amazing to study there because they have everything. The staff there is really good. They were always amazing with me. They would help me. They would make sure I was feeling welcomed in Hudson. And at school is probably I spend a third of my day there, so it was pretty good to have a school in this size and with this type of community. Okay, so then people, I think more than the place where an exchange student goes, the people where that you meet is what makes your experience good or not. So people here they were just amazing with me. I thought it would be pretty hard to make friends, and I thought it would be hard to just do whatever I wanted here, but it was the total opposite. So people were always trying to talk to me, people were always trying to embrace me here, so that was just awesome from the community. Okay, so the Osmonds first. The first people I saw in America. So Jack, Anne and Jack were waiting for me in the airport with the Rotarians, and I had a really amazing time with them. Probably the toughest one because I didn't know how to speak in English, so I'm sure it was tough for them because I know it was not easy to understand me in the first 3 months, but I love them because they just helped me with everything I needed, and especially with a really challenging moment. So, the soccer team. So they were my first friends. I think they, because we all play soccer, was just easy to make friends, to be friends with them because everybody wanted to talk to the Brazilian player because if you think about soccer, it's the first country you think it's Brazil. So they were always talking to me, and some of them most of them I just kept talking to nowadays, and some of them are still my best friends. So Namwan and Channing. Namwan, the girl on the right here, she's an exchange student from Thailand. Me and her, we are the only exchange students that are younger than 18. So we just became really good friends. And then Channing, she's American, she's a senior, and then she would be the one driving us around, and then we just became really good friends. The exchange students, so we are probably in like 35 exchange students in the Twin Cities area, and they are really nice. Some of them they're just a lot. They're really energetic, but we really get along together. So in this photo, it was Christmas. We went to a cabin to spend some days together, and it was just amazing. It's funny because when you have all these cultures together, you think it's gonna be just a mess because everything speaks their own language there, and they all think in a different way, but it's not because we all share the same experience somehow. We are all by ourselves here. We don't have our parents. We are far from home, so I think we understand each other, and it's really nice to be around them. Petersons. So I was with the Petersons for the real season in Wisconsin. So that was when it started to be real, and it was a good time. They live in North Hudson by the St. Paul River, so we would go to walks, and there was like a foot of snow, and I've never seen that before. But it was pretty cool. It was really cool to walk them, to ski with them, and to blow snow every other week. So Anthony's probably my first friend I made here. He's in my advisory, and he's a Polish exchange student. So we have similar personalities too, so we started to talk, and he's just amazing with me. We used to hang out together, but then at some point our friend groups just diverged. So, but we are still really good friends, and he's a really nice person. So Afonso is my host brother now. So we met each other at school. So he's in my AP Physics class, and he was really, with his words, he was really hyped when he knew I was going to his house. And he's just a wonderful kid. We started to talk, and I I made him drive me to Woodbury a couple times for my haircuts. And believe it or not, it's $45. It's a lot. But I had a really good time with him. Hester's my third family. Um, so they were just amazing. I went to their family, and it I thought it would be hard because it's the last third of the year, but it's been just amazing. We had a wonderful experiences together, and it's a lot of understanding, I think, in this family. It's just we understand each other. We talk a lot, so it's just good to be with them. Uh, so Roy, John, and Bill. So these guys, I think you know them. They they're always around me, helping with everything I needed. Bill is a soccer addicted like me, so I like to have a person like that with me. And John and Roy just helped me with everything I needed here, and they helped me with since day one to now. They are the people that I can count to. So, and then Hudson Daybreak. This club is just amazing. I just want to thank you guys for sponsoring me and just you being around me and supporting everything I needed. So I don't think some people realized how hard it is to be in a different country by yourself, and just having a club that helps me and just supports me with everything I need it's really important. And I think, well, I wouldn't be here without you guys, and it's just a dream come to real life, I think. First, I didn't think it was gonna be a really good experience. I wanted to learn English, and I wanted to just live by myself for a year. But this became a different experience. This went to a way that I would never expect. I say to my friends, that's the best year of my life, and not because I improved my English or because I lived in a different culture, but because I just made so many good connections here, and I met so many good people that is just it's amazing. It's gonna be tough to come back home because feel like I'm embraced here. So it's hard because when you don't really make these roots in the community, it's pretty easy. You just count the days to come back to your country. But when you feel like you have a second home, that's really tough. So that's just a thanks. I just need some. So this experience, it's been really amazing. So it's hard to say without going tears about that because it's just unique. I don't even know how to explain. I remember 2 days ago, I was writing some letters to my teachers. So I have 3 teachers that are really important to me. So Miss Ellingson, Mr. Gamache, and Miss Flanagan, I was with them for the whole year, and they helped me a lot at school. So I just wrote them letters, and it was like 11 at night, and I was listening to music, and I was really happy. And then I started to write, and I don't think I ever cried so much since I was like 7 years old. Because it's tough to think some people will never see again, especially my teachers. They helped me with my studies, and they were really supportive of me. So I wrote them letters, and I was in a lot of tears. And then it's hard to say because, well, Brazil is not a really wealthy country, so for a lot of people, it's just amazing I'm here. I have a cousin that he had a lot of trouble with drugs and everything, and he's not really close to our family anymore. But I'm the person that he always could talk to, and he's like 30 now. And I remember one of the most important moments for me here was when he called me, and he was like, we were FaceTiming, and he wanted me to show the snow for his friends. And I thought it was funny because he asked me that, but I think it's a feeling of proudness that comes from him, that like he has a cousin that is in another country, and probably for him, I don't think he would think a person in his family would go somewhere abroad. So it's just so unique for me, because so my parents, I'll just talk a little bit about past now. My parents were really, really poor, so they are the only people that got a college degree, and a high school degree in my family. My dad has 3 brothers, and my mom has 3 sisters, and they are the people that just sustain our family since I'm here in Earth. And even though they never told me I had to be like them, I just feel like I need to, and I feel like someone needs to like guide our family when they just stop working, or if they are not with us anymore. So this experience here just made me, this showed me I'm capable to do that, and I'm capable to come back to Brazil and give hope to my family, to my people, because this experience is just different. And I lived by myself here. I had a good time, but also this opens so many doors for me, and like looking to my cousins in the eyes, looking to my uncles, my aunts, and telling them I'm in the United States, I'm healthy, I'm studying, I'm a good student here, and telling them we can do better. We don't need to stay in Brazil. They don't need to work for the rest of their lives to sustain themselves. So this experience showed me that I can help them. I can just be the person that shows them everything is possible, because this experience showed me everything is possible, and showed me that even if I can dream really high, I can achieve my goals. And exchange trips are hard to understand. It's hard for me to think what I experienced here, but it's just unique. So thank you for having me here. It's tough because that's probably the last presentation I'll give here, and I'll probably come back, but I don't think I'll see uh, most people in Hudson anymore. So it's just tough. Uh, it's tough. It's tough to think that I'll come back to Brazil and I won't see people, but it's also really, I have a really good feeling that because of Hudson community, because of everybody here around me, I just know I can do better. I can come back to Brazil and I can help my community with what I learned here and with what I built here. So, and it's been a wonderful year. When I chose to come to US, I thought about only English and school. I thought I was gonna come here, just play soccer, just come back to Brazil speaking English fluently. But now there's a person before the exchange trip happened and a person that's gonna come back to Brazil totally different. And a person that knows that the world is really big and the amount of experiences you can have is amazing. So just being here is awesome. It's hard to talk when it's hard to feel it's coming to an end. A month ago I was happy. I was thinking that was never gonna end. Now it hurts when you think like I have 23 more days here, and it's just really hard to think that it's coming to an end. But I'm always grateful that I thank you for this experience and thank you for being with me. That was just awesome. It was an amazing year, and I'll never forget the memories I built here. Never forget the people I met here, and I'll promise I'll come back and I'll do better. I'll come back to Brazil, and I'm sure one of Rotary values is just to spread the goodwill and fellowship, and I'll do that in Brazil. I didn't really know, I wasn't really involved with Rotary when I was in Brazil, but because I came here, my dad, he got in our Rotary club in Brazil, in my town. He's gonna be the next president in our club. And it's just amazing what Rotary does. Some people think some people don't know what Rotary is, but they should know. It's just what Rotary does around the world is just amazing, and I feel like this seed of the Rotary values was planted on me, and I'll just do my best in Brazil to give hope to a country where it's tough to live and people don't really have all this life most people here have. So one of my goals after now is just to give. I like to use the word hope. I want to give hope to my people when I come back to Brazil. I want to tell them it's possible. It's possible to be better. It's possible to get out from where they are and just live their best lives. And that's because of Rotary. That's because of everybody that showed me that I could do better, and I will. So, thank you.
Joao. Thank you, Joao. A couple things. Before you leave, I would love for all of us to gather on the other side of the wall with Joao and have a picture taken, so he can take some of us back with him. But Joao, how are you going to spend your next 23 days here?
So I have the East Coast trip, so that's 13 days, and I would just try to spend most of my time with my friends, with my host families. I want to just be around them for the most time I can.
Do you know where you're going on your East Coast trip?
Yeah, so we start in Boston, so I'll take a flight from Minneapolis to Boston on Monday, next Monday, and then we take a bus there, and we go Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, and Orlando, Florida.
So it's a pretty cool 13-day trip that he gets to take. And we were very happy with your Brazilian day we had here to help raise some funds, and then the club to help take some of that pressure off of you with the funds to raise that you had to raise for that trip. So we're super excited to hear about that as well, and hope you have a wonderful experience. We have a couple minutes for questions. If there's any questions from anybody, raise your hand and I will bring it over to you, Roy, and then I'll come over to you, Lynn.
So I remember that picture that you took with all of your friends back in Brazil. So this isn't going to be a lonely trip back to you. There's going to be 50, 60, 70 kids there welcoming you back because you're so popular back home too. You're just that type of person that we were graced to have you be with us. So thank you, Joao, for the great year.
Thank you.
Mine isn't a question, it's just more of a comment. I hope you'll zoom in for a Rotary meeting every now and then. It'd be fun to see you up on the screen.
I will. It's 9 a.m. when the meetings happens in Brazil, so. Much easier. Yeah.
Nick, I think the school district got a positive review from Joao, so. I hope you took quotes to use. Any other questions?
Well, I just wanted to thank you for the Brazil event too. I talked to my parents about paying the event, and I just tried to. This pressure wasn't really on me. It was more on my parents. So I don't think they would say no to me if I didn't help with the costs. They would just try their best to pay. So I know I if I could do something, I was going to. So you made this happen. You made this possible. You made the trip possible. So thank you for everybody that donated. Thank you for everybody that was here. It was really important to me just to share a little bit of my own culture with everybody in Hudson here. So thank you.
Thank you, Joao.